Hey foodies, welcome back to Unveil the Other Side. Today we are going to see how to make the Indian traditional cookie called the Naankhathai. I'm using ghee, clarified butter with powdered sugar, all-purpose flour, chickpea flour, suji or the rava. I'm using the normal quality. You can use the fine one as well. And you need 2 cardamoms, little salt. Pistachios is optional. I've taken about a handful chopped pistachios, and you'll need baking powder. So first I've taken about 3 tablespoons of clarified butter ghee and adding the same amount of powdered sugar to this ghee. You will have to whisk this completely until it incorporates well and becomes a creamy texture so that it's beaten really well. The color of the ghee turns into pale cream. Until then you'll have to beat it. It takes generally anywhere around 10 to 12 minutes if you continuously whisk it. It's worth the amount of effort that you put in, because when the cookies melt in your mouth, you forget about the pain that you have gone through. Right now, if you can see, it's turning into pale yellow. Beat it for another 3 to 4 minutes and you're ready to incorporate the dry ingredients. As you can see, it's turned into light cream and very airy, very soft. At this point you can start adding in your flours. I sifted half and half cup of all-purpose flour and wheat flour. You can completely use all-purpose flour as it is used in the traditional cookie, but I'm just making it a little healthy here. So adding in half cup of wheat flour and half cup of all-purpose flour. Sift it in so that there is more air incorporated. You can use this fine quality suji or the normal medium suji that you get to make upma. Those rava also would work fine. Sift in the chickpea flour as well. Generally, if you notice, chickpea flour has that knots in between, so once you sift it, it becomes more airy and soft. To this I'm going to add in freshly ground cardamom. Generally, for any dish that I prepare, if it requires cardamom, I freshly grind it so that the aroma is beautiful and still very good. So just grind it in, powder it and add it to the mix. So in goes the cardamom here, and very little baking powder. About quarter teaspoon is more than sufficient for this recipe, and a little salt to balance out the sweetness. So once you have all this ready, just mix it in. Don't over mix this dough. You'll have to just bind in so that the dry ingredients just get coated with all the wet ingredient, that is the butter and ghee and sugar. With your light hands you have to just bring in everything together and form a dough. As you can see, the consistency is very crumbly and nice, so I'm just going to use my clean hands right now to just bring everything into a single ball dough. In case your dough looks a little watery or runny, what you can just do is bring everything together and place it in the fridge for about half an hour so that the ghee solidifies and your dough is into the right consistency. Hence, generally, what I do is I prefer to take 1 or 2 tablespoons less of ghee in the start so that I don't end up in a liquid dough or a runny dough. So right now the consistency looks absolutely perfect for me. I'm going to start shaping out the cookies at this point. There is no need to rest the dough otherwise. I've used a greased plate, baking tray. I'm going to take one big scoop of the dough. You can shape it as per your wish, but I'm just going in for a oval shape, and I'm just going to use a small cutter, or as in my case I'm using a bowl here. So just making a pattern using the cup or the bowl that I have, just to give it some decoration. And I'm going to make the same pattern with all the cookies here. You can make this and store this in an airtight container for about a week. It's going to last well. So as you can see, I'm just giving a little space in between the cookies because they tend to grow in size when you cook them, and topping it with pistas. As you can see, I've just been adding it on to the cookies. This will be baked in the oven at 180 degrees, a preheated oven, for about 20 minutes. Keep a check on your oven because they tend to burn if you overcook them. You need to flip sides after say around 12 minutes. So this is the cooked cookies. It's really hot and it's so crumbly at this point. It